Hello, people of the YouTube intro. Haven't said that one for a while, have I? I'm here to explain what the 10 Facts in 10 Minutes videos have become. As you may have noticed, single facts, have been uploaded as shorts on my channel. I've come to the conclusion that the best way for me to do shorts on these small facts is to just upload them as shorts directly and then make the 10 facts in 10 minutes a compilation of the next 10 facts. So you don't have to watch the shorts if you're not into YouTube shorts. You can just wait until I upload 10 of them and then I'll upload a new one. This is how it's going to be from now on. So without further ado, I bid you to the next 10 facts in our 10 Facts in 10 Minutes series. Does cat shit make you want to commit die? Toxoplasma gondii is a brain parasite that infects our true overlords. The parasite infects 1 in 3 people, which can cause them to have mental illnesses. There have been over 100 studies done on the topic, but none have really found concrete proof that it's caused by it. Cats can get the parasite by doing the thing that makes animals get parasites: eating other infected animals. Around 40% of cats have this parasite in the United States alone. Cats usually won't show symptoms of having this parasite unless it gets into their liver or nervous system. Most people will get this parasite by coming into contact with the eggs it lays. It can be passed, in rare cases, by direct contact with the cat or its shit. Most studies done on humans are too late to be able to determine if the mental illness was caused by a parasite or not. That is, until one Danish study. They discovered that you are 2.5 times more likely to develop schizophrenia if you get this parasite. People with schizophrenia have a 10% rate of suicide. In some twisted way, your cat will cause you to Kurt Cobain yourself. Can possums get rabies? Any mammal can get rabies. However, in possums, it's extremely rare for them to have it. Scientists believe it's because of their low body temperature. The low body temperature kills off the virus, rendering it ineffective against the possums. There have been reports of possums with rabies, but it's more common in other animals. They do carry other diseases though, like leptospirosis. If you don't want to get leptospirosis, don't drink anything that could have an infected animal's urine in it. So don't go out back and start drinking out of the creek without filtering it first, you redneck sons of bitches. This disease can't kill you by itself, but it can show back up and cause more severe infections to appear later on. Possums don't even bite people or anything unless it's their last resort. So if you get bit by a possum, just stop fucking with the possum. Milk does a funny thing when it enters your stomach. Picture this. You go to your fridge and see there's no milk in there. Remember, your dad went to grab it 24 years ago. That must be some valuable milk, you think to yourself. You grab your keys, exit your house, enter your motorized/electric vehicle, and start driving. Now that you're at the store, you head to the coolers and start chugging the fuck out of some milk. Now, the real fun begins. Milk inside your stomach undergoes a major structural change. The liquid milk is turned to solid clots with a consistency to mozzarella cheese. This is because of the coagulation of the caseins due to the acidity of your stomach bile. It's also because of protein-degrading enzymes that are located in your stomach as well. This is actually a very similar process to how cheese is made. Remember, when you eat cheese, specifically mozzarella, that's stomach milk. Semen smells. If you didn't know that, come somewhere and sniff it, then let me know what it smelled like. Actually, don't. That's fucking disgusting. You can still come and sniff it, but don't tell me. Fuck, this is turning into a weird JOI video. I'm just gonna get through this one fast. Semen smells like bleach or ammonia. That's because of its alkaline pH levels. The smell and other characteristics of your semen can determine how healthy you are. It's alright if it isn't the same every time, but if it's drastically different, you need to consult the doctor. If your semen smells foul, that indicates a possible infection like bacterial prostatitis or STI. If it smells sweet, that is a sign of abnormal glucose levels, and that means diabetes. So if your shit smells weird, get that shit checked out. Who is Jack, and why does he know all of the traits? Jack does so happen to be a pet name for John. So it seems like we already have our answer on who it is. Or do we? Jack was also used in Middle English to refer to an ordinary man. In the early 18th century, it started being used to talk about laborers. Somehow, when trying to figure out who Jack was, we figured out how he knows all the trades. He knows the trades because that's literally his job, to do the trades. We have to go back to what we originally set out to do, trying to figure out who Jack is. Let's see if the first uses of the phrase will help. Robert Greene was the first person to use the phrase in a booklet titled Greene's Groat's Worth of Wit. It was published in 1592. He didn't even really use the phrase as we know it today, but it meant the same thing. The phrase he used was absolute Johannes factotum. The phrase he used was referring to one William Shakespeare. What do ants do during the winter season? Ants are ectothermic creatures. That doesn't mean they excrete ectoplasm like the hungry ghost in Ghostbusters. It means its body temperature is regulated by the temperature in their environment. Ants are extremely impacted by cold temperatures. In cold temperatures, their metabolic rates decrease, they slow down, and it may make them hibernate or stay dormant. If ants get exposed to extreme temperatures, they will die. Ice crystals literally form inside the bodies of ants because of the cold. Their blood literally freezes. Ants will seek out shelter where the temps and elements are suitable for their survival. When they're done getting ready for the winter, they enter a state of diapause. It's a physiological state of suspended activity. Ants in this state can remain physically active, they just do it at a slower pace. That's why you don't usually see ants anywhere. They just become neats, living with their parents doing nothing but their basic functions. What happens to the charge in batteries while in the cold? There are a variety of issues that stem from the interaction between conductivity and temperature. To break it down for you as simple as I can, because I know you guys are just as dumb as I am, for most cases, the colder it is, the worse the battery becomes. Extreme low temperatures can cause irreparable damage to your batteries. The type of battery I will be talking about for this fact will mostly be lithium-ion batteries. These types of batteries require a chemical interaction to provide power to their respective items. Particles move slower in extreme cold, which will provide less power and a smaller charge. This will make the battery struggle to provide the necessary power to turn on the device. Batteries in an idle state sitting in the cold can do permanent damage to the battery. These ion batteries will also undergo a physical change. This physical change will damage their capacity for electricity. The cold specifically damages a very important component. This component allows the electrons to transfer between different electrodes. Damage to the component will make it more difficult for these electrons to do this. Eventually, the lithium inside the battery becomes concentrated around the negative electrode, forming a plating. Large lithium dendrites will begin to grow on the plating and will puncture the diaphragm of the battery. This will lead to a battery failure. There's a type of lizard I want you to meet. Meet Crumb. He's a horn lizard. He moves sluggishly, but if you don't bother him, he should be fine. What are you doing? Don't do that to Crumb, he doesn't like it. Great, now I have more lizard blood to clean up for my carpet. That's right, Crumb is one of 8 species of horn lizard that are able to squirt blood out of their eyes. They can shoot it up to 5 feet. In order to do this, they restrict the blood flow going into their head to increase their blood pressure. The increased blood pressure will rupture tiny vessels by their eyelids, allowing them to squirt blood from the corners of their eyes. This confuses the predator and even tastes bad to the feline and canine predators hunting them. It doesn't really affect birds though. It used to be thought that the chemicals in the blood making it taste bad were added in from an ocular sinus cavity. It is now known that the chemical is already mixed in with their blood from the very beginning. The diet of the horned lizards could be why it's already there. My horned lizard and all the others eat venomous harvester ants. Next time, don't touch my fucking lizard. George Carlin once said that the Mormons don't believe in fire. I'm here to prove them right or wrong. The short and simple answer to this question is yes, they don't believe in fire in a metaphorical way. They obviously believe in actual fire, but they don't believe in hell the way Catholics and Christians do. Hell to them isn't filled with fire and brimstone. Mormons, based on what I read, believe in 3 different versions of hell. The first hell is just here on Earth. Big fucking shocker there. Hell on earth is where you start straying away from God and are feeling the anguish of not having God by your side anymore. The second hell is where people who are ignorant of Christ go. It's called spirit prison. They don't have enough knowledge of the faith and the teachings of Christ to enter what they call spirit paradise. The second hell is somewhat similar to purgatory in the Catholic faith. The third hell is called outer darkness. This is where people who have learned about Christ and his teachings go if they still rejected it. Satan and other evil angels reside here. It's described as a place of cold darkness and silence, far from the fire and brimstone of hell. What's the point and function of water towers? Water towers are tanks of water at a sufficient height to pressurize distribution systems of drinking water. They also provide an emergency supply of water for any firefighters. They're used in conjunction with reservoirs, either on the surface or underground, to store drinkable water. Some of the towers store water only used for firefighting or industrial use. They're not connected to public water systems and are not good for humans to drink. These water towers are actually able to supply water without any power. This is because they rely on hydrostatic pressure, which allows water to enter tanks using gravity. It can't supply water for very long though. Water towers use pumps to refill the tanks inside of the tower. These pumps will need power to run. The towers also help with the peak hours of water usage within their area. The levels of water in the tower go down during the day and get refilled later on in the night. This process helps the water from freezing during the winter since the water is continuously rotated out.